if you want to make $1,000 a day this week, you need to follow these 3 simple steps. You need to make sure you stick around for the end of this video so I can give you my top 3 money plays for the week. But before you guys do that, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button if you really support my channel, right? So let's go ahead and get straight to it. Step 1, we have to understand that less is more. You don't make $1,000 a day trading Forex without you being patient and you understanding that you don't have to take 1,000 trades every single day, right? 1 to 2 good trades a day will simply help you accomplish that goal. Where most people go wrong inside of the Forex market is that they take a whole bunch of different trades and then their losses end up outweighing their wins, right? So they had a couple wins under their belt, but they didn't know when to stop. So they overtraded, they did too much inside of the market, they got greedy, and they end up losing their profits, right? So you need to understand that you need to take the best quality trades that you see and not every single potential tick inside of the market that could be a potential buy or sell, right? Now, step number 2, wait for a price to get to your area of interest, right? So if you guys been following my videos for a long time, understand that I set alerts. So when price gets to my area of interest, my alert then goes off. So when my alert then goes off, I then sit there like a sniper in the army or whatever, and I wait on price to react at that area, right? So I'm waiting. I'm not sitting all day on the charts to try to figure out like, oh, I just have to be in a position. That's kind of like an addiction, right? Sometimes you just have to set your alerts and step away. Now, when those alerts go off, so once the price gets to your area of interest, you then want to look for a price action signal that solidifies that, okay, price is now going to go into the intended direction that I am assuming that the market will go into, right? So now that leads me to step 3. Follow market structure and make sure that you are in alignment with the trend, right? So if you're just looking to make $1,000 a day, you don't necessarily want to counter trend against the main trend. You want to make sure that you're following the flow of the market. So you want to catch the wave. You don't want to just sit there and try to go against something that's going really fast, right? So if I understand that the market is impulsing in a bullish direction and the trend is flowing on the higher time frames in a bullish direction, I should not necessarily be looking for sales if I'm going to be counter trending that market, right? So I have to understand that I want to be in alignment with the trend. That way I can capitalize my gains and get the most profits out of those initial moves versus trying to catch a whole bunch of small moves going against the trend, right? So I hope that makes sense to you guys. And now, like I said, I'm going to be giving you guys my money play for the week, right? So here we have NAS 100, right? NAS 100 finished out the week pretty bullish. Now we have to understand that simply how we talked about in the last few market forecasts, this was an impulse, this was a correction, and now we're looking for our overall continuation. So if I hide this, we can see that last week's candle was very, very bullish, right? So now we're sitting here on the weekly time frame, but we can also see that we are at a level of resistance. So we have to be mindful of that. Now on our daily time frame, we can see that we broke this most recent level of resistance. And like I said, we're sitting at this level of resistance right here. So let's turn our annotations back on. We can see this level of resistance right here. Now on our 4-hour time frame, we can see that we had a break and a retest of this green trend line, break, retest here. And then we had our overall continuation. Now, where current price is sitting at inside of the market, we have to make sure that we understand that price has to pull back before it gives us another continuation. So what I'll be looking for inside of the market on a smaller time frame, such as the 1 hour, I'm looking for price to pull back to the area where price previously broke at this level of resistance here, which is also the level of resistance it broke on our H4, right? So this will be classified as our area of interest because this is a price where we can look for price potentially to bounce, because the story here is every time that price touched this green line, it bounced and it bounced. So if price was to ever make its way back up to this area, or make its way back down to this area again, we could potentially see a bounce, right? So I'm gonna be looking for price to pull back down to this area, and then I'll be looking for potential buys, right? Now, however, if the market does not give us that opportunity, we also understand that we react to the market. We don't simply predict it. So if price gives us price action that lets us break beneath this area, retest this level of resistance, then we can look for price to come down to this level of potential support, right? That will be our overall bias until we have more data getting formed. Now, if we break beneath this area later during the week, this level of support, then we'd be looking for a price to break, retest beneath, and then we'll carry it down to this area of resistance as well. So we have an area of interest here, area of interest here, and an area of interest here. Once price gets to those three areas on NASDAQ 100, I'll be looking for either a buy right here or potential sell right here, right? Now, the sales under here will be a shift in the trend because we had a structure shift, right? So if you pay attention to my previous market structure video, I talked about understanding chains and trends. So here we are clearly in an overall uptrend, but if this higher low point gets broken and retested, that will be a indication that the market is now beginning to shift trends. So we have to be completely aware of that, right? So like I said, those are my three areas of interest on NAS, and I'm going to be paying attention to those. So I will be going ahead and set an alert on here. Watch price here. So this is how I do the market step by step every single week going into the market on Sundays, right? So that's overall NASDAQ 100. Now on our US30 for the week, simply we had similar to NAS weekly time frame. We ended up with a bullish candle. We had impulse, correction, continuation, correction. Now we're starting to get our continuation. On our daily time frame, we broke this level of resistance. We consolidated at this area, and then now we finished Friday with a bullish candle closing above these candles right here. So that's the indication that the market can potentially go up. On a 4-hour time frame, we're still consolidating. So if we turn our annotation back on, we're simply sitting in between this range right here. So in order for us to be looking for a potential buy or sell opportunity, we want to see price break out of this range, retest it, and then we could look to carry it up to this level of resistance here. That would be ideal. Now, if we do not break out of that range to the upside, we'd be looking for price to break beneath this area, retest, and push down to this level of resistance right here. So this is why I have the note sells if we break and retest beneath there, because then just like NAS, that will be a shift in structure. So we would go from an uptrend into a newfound downtrend if we break and retest beneath this level of support. So we do not want to be looking for sales up until the point where we break structure. If we do not break structure, we are currently in an overall uptrend on US30. Based off the higher time frames, this daily is in an uptrend. The 4-hour was in a downtrend, but since recently we broke structure, we had an impulse, we had a correction. Now we're starting to get our continuation. So we are now looking for overall buys on US30 if we can stay above this area, this level of support right here, right? So my areas of interest on US30 are breaking above, retesting here to carry price here. So this will be an area of interest. Currently, right now, the market just opened, so we're not really looking for too much data to be going on. We pretty much look for price to open on Monday morning and see if we could get a brand new impulse push, a correction, and then we could look for a continuation. Another area of interest on US30 will simply be this little minor level of support here. Oops. Let's make this a different color. Boom. So this black zone right here, we could potentially be looking for buys off of this area right here as well, right? So that's something that we want to pay attention to as well. This is also an area of interest where we could potentially be looking for buys off of this area if support maintains, right? So that's something that we want to pay attention to as well. Now, for our last and final pair, gold. Let's go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we closed extremely bearish to end the week. We had this huge bearish candle engulfing this previous bullish candle right here, and we were also at a major level of resistance. So we have resistance, resistance, resistance here. So that let us know there's a high probability chance that price could push down, because every time it was in this area, what it do? Push down, and push down. So what did we do when we got to the area? We started to push down. So that's something that we had to be mindful of. Now, on the daily time frame, this was a downtrend. So we had this structure points here, and we broke above this previous lower high point here with the impulse followed by a correction. So that lets us know that we could potentially see a continuation to the upside if we respect these levels of support at this area here or this potential area right here. That's something that we want to keep our eye on going into this week. Now, something that we also want to pay attention to is that we have CPI this week, right? So CPI always been, well, it doesn't always, it's been shaking the markets the last couple months. So we have to definitely pay attention to that. So we have that at 7:30 on Tuesday a.m. And then we have PPI on Wednesday, and then we have unemployment claims on Thursday. So we have a very busy week inside of the markets. And like I said, if you want that $1,000 a day goal, you simply just have to sit there and be patient and wait for the market to come to you, because the news will push price to exactly where it needs to go. And there's a lot of money to be made this week inside of the markets, right? So let's go to our 4-hour time frame, and I'm going to hide these fibs so you guys do not get confused. This fib structure right here played out from last week. We hit our negative 61.8. Then we came back to retest this level of support that got broken, and then we made a new lower low, right? So until this structure gets broken, we will continue to be looking for sales, because overall our bias is in an overall downtrend on this 4-hour structure. Now, on a 1-hour time frame, what I'll be looking for is I'm looking for price to pull back into this area here. So this is my area of interest. I'll be looking for price to potentially retest this area and or this trend line, pull into that area, and then we could potentially be looking for sales. Now, if we want to look for buys, we will look for buy opportunities once price breaks structure. So once price breaks this previous lower high point, gives us a break here, break above, retest, and then this is the area of interest that we'll be looking for on buys at current price. Now, if price forms a lower high point and then later on in the week it breaks above this area and retest, then you could be looking for buys at this area right here, as long as structure gives you that data. But right now, the previous lower high point is right here. Therefore, we would need a break and a retest to capitalize on the buys up to this trend line area structure right here. Now, this is something that we have to be very, very careful about, simply because we already hit our negative 61.8 on this downtrend structure. And on our daily time frame, this is an overall impulse correction. So we could be looking for our continuation. So we need to wait for the market to tell us what we want, what it wants to do next. So like I was saying earlier in the video, less is more. We're going to wait until the market gets to our area of interest where we set our alerts, and then we're going to strike once price action gives us those signals. So if you paid attention to my market structure video that I dropped a couple weeks ago, it will literally tell you step by step on knowing when to get in on the trend, simply by understanding is price in a reversal pattern or is price giving a continuation pattern. So definitely, if you haven't seen that video, refer back to that video and make sure that you understand what you're looking for in those areas, right? So I hope this video was super helpful. If you make $1,000 a week, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section, and also let me know how you felt about this video. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.